Good afternoon. Full name is Marshall J. Taggart Jr. I'm a certified airport manager with the AAE, American Association of Airport Executives. I serve as the Executive Airport Director for Montgomery Regional Airport. Well, one thing about Black History Month, which always rings true to me, I really celebrate this 365 days a year. But particularly for February, it gives us an opportunity to really focus on Carter G. Woodson's whole component of who is the founder of the Negro, actually, it was Negro Week, and then it became month, Black History Month. It gives us a time to really focus on all of our accomplishments, our achievements that we made as African Americans in this country. I think we've had a very rich history, and in particular in aviation. As a segue, when you look at what the Tuskegee Airmen have done, particularly in my backyard, the 187th, and right down the street, Moulton Field, with the Tuskegee Airmen who actually flew out of Tuskegee University. It has a connection between Montgomery and our field with the Red Tails. So just to be associated with this field and understand that people came before you and opened up doors, that is very, very, very intriguing. And I'll say that because I'm the first African American airport director that Montgomery has ever had in its history. I didn't reach out and start with this ambition that I wanted to run in one of the major transportation hubs in the country. We're major in the sense that we in turn connect to a system, kind of like a web, right? And we bring what we call kind of the spoke to the hub. And in this case, the hub is Atlanta, it's also Dallas, it's Charlotte. And so we have flights on both Delta and American Airlines. And what happened when I first started out, this is my sixth airport. So I worked in the mayor's office in the city of Chicago, had an opportunity to be a budget analyst for water, sewers, and aviation, all the enterprise funds. And then from there, just really smelled the jet fuel and got hooked. And so as I went out to do the budget for the Department of Aviation for the city of Chicago, Chicago at that time had three airports. They had Meigs Field, which was off of the lake, in this case, Lake Michigan, and near Burnham Park, which is now Burnham Park now. And then also to Chicago Midway International Airport is where I started as Director of Airport Concessions. And then from there, the large airport, Chicago O'Hare International Airport, I served as Director of Planning and Real Estate. Was able to go from there directly to Hartsfield-Jackson, the busiest airport in the world in terms of passengers and operations, and had a chance to serve as the first airport manager in training, which was something that Ben DaCosta had put together, who was the general manager. And I had a chance to learn all the different areas on how to run an airport. It was a very good experience being in Atlanta, going through that process. From there, I went straight back to from a medium hub to a large hub, down to a large hub. And now, then I went to a medium hub airport, which was, sorry, a small hub airport, which was Tallahassee Regional Airport. And we in turn, working with them, actually got the name changed because we got an international designation due to the fact we got a federal inspection service, and it became Tallahassee International Airport. So that was one of my biggest accomplishments. From there, went on to work for a private company in a vice president for business development role, and from an aviation perspective. Then I went on to a GA, General Aviation Airport, as a deputy number two. I was deputy in Tallahassee. And so that deputy position at DeKalb Peachtree Airport actually catapulted me to become the executive airport director here in Montgomery Region. I think really from being here, I was able to hire a cadre of African American males and females who were younger students attending Alabama State, Clark Atlanta, Auburn University, Georgia Middle College, to actually bring them up from an intern's perspective. And I'm proud to say that now we have one of our interns who serves as our security um, coordinator who does ID badging here at our airport. He is a graduate of an HBCU. We also have another young man who is in the pipeline to become the marketing and communications coordinator here at our airport. And so I think the biggest accomplishment is really reaching back and pulling people forward. You always want to basically always look behind you and remember to bring people of color, and in this case, blacks, women, and minorities, to in this profession. It's the key because it's a unique perspective. You want to reflect your actual passenger base, and you want to make sure that you reflect your population in which you serve in this capacity. So that's very important to bring in young, very talented individuals, give them an opportunity, and then let them thrive and move up through the ranks just like yourself. Know your craft. One thing I always tell people, uh, if you understand airports, it doesn't matter if whatever the roadblocks, because there will be. In this role, you get to the point not where you're actually managing processes and people, you're managing politics. So the three P's: processes, people, and then the politics. You try to get into this perspective to really manage and make sure that your politics, you have people behind you, number one. Number two, I think the biggest piece is really still dealing with the nuances where people feel as if African Americans don't have the type of knowledge base, et cetera. I mean, my background, I have a bachelor's of arts in accounting. I have a master's in public administration. But I did two dual concentrations in urban administration and public finance management. And so I'm also too all but dissertation, my PhD in political science. And I have four cohorts: US urban politics, US politics, comparative politics, and public administration. So when you talk about the educational piece, the exposure in terms of being in the business for 20 plus years, working at 6 airports, all that culminates into nada for a lot of people, right? And so it really boils down to the other P, personality. And it's really five: perseverance. So you got to be in a position to understand how you want to deal with individuals and develop those relationships, because everyone's not going to like you. But if you have a mission, you have a vision, you have strategic goals, and more importantly, you have core values, what will you in turn risk and be willing to risk for your career? If someone asks you to do something that's unethical, illegal, you have to morally, from a conscience and from your moral compass, to understand you that you can't do these things, because it will in turn put you in a position because of who you are, right? And I think sometimes we carry a burden, but really and truly, it's really the responsibility to move people forward. I look at no different here in Montgomery. Martin Luther King came down here in 1955. I'm originally from Atlanta too. So I came here, historic perspective, but I look at it as someone passing the baton to me, right? They did what they did. Rosa sat so we could stand. People stood so we could run, or walk. And then from there, we walk from Selma to Montgomery so we can run, like Flojo and all these folks that run, like the boat, who does this after his, every time he's run. So I think we have to realize where we are in our place in history. And we have to begin to understand that, it's more spiritual than anything on the reason why you're here. You're here to make a difference. And if you keep that in mind, it keeps you going. I would say really look to get a mentor or join a program that provides a mentor mentee type of relationship. Great programs like the National Forum for Black Public Administrators. That is an excellent organization that has an organized mentor mentee program. We will have one soon with the Airport Leadership Collective out of AMAC. I think it's very important to understand that relationships are key, and you need people to be able to lean upon to pull you up in the organization. No one does this alone. A lot of people have helped me along the way. Thomas Walker, Ben DaCosta, right? I can name the mayor of Tallahassee at that time, which was John Marks, and then Anita Favors Thompson, who was the city manager for the city of Tallahassee. Tammy Knight Fleming here at this airport. Uh, People who are at DeKalb Peachtree Airport, like Lee May, who was the CEO of DeKalb County at the time. Those people really opened doors for me and said, hey, Marshall, we believe in you and we want to invest in you. And so you have a lot of people like myself, a lot of people who want to do the same thing for young people. It's just young individuals who are younger than we are. They need to understand a couple of things. Be patient. You're not going to get it overnight. Number two, you got to pay your dues. There's no quick way to get to the top. You have to basically Go do you have all these continuous roads to get to where you need to be. And then, of course, pray. Make sure that you, in turn, have a spiritual perspective and a compass to understand that when it's your time and you're anointed, you make sure that you take the position and always pay it forward by reaching back behind you. That's really how you grow in your career, because the more things you put into other people, the blessings will come your way to prepare you for it. And so, again, if you look at all these things I said, I don't have a magic road or to tell you a cookbook recipe on how you move to the next level. But it's always, sometimes it's being in the right place at the right time and talking to the right individuals and develop relationships. So all these culminations of things of you being a very bright individual, because I'm talking to you out there who may be thinking about getting into this industry. It is a great industry to be in. I mean, it is, we need leadership. We need strategic individuals. We need people who can think quick on the feet, who can speak and articulate directly to the media to tell them, hey, we want you to fly this airport. Again, I want to end my comment, if I may, fly MGM, travel above. In America, we can be proud to say that we have an opportunity to voice our opinions. And I think Black History Month really represents that, to voice our opinions and represent who we are and what we're about.